How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to give you an update on Bitcoin, altcoins, what you need to know right now, because it is quiet. It's eerily quiet, almost too quiet. The market doesn't have much news today, but this is, I think, the biggest week of the quarter for the stock market and for crypto as well. We do have a lot of companies buying crypto here today and making announcements, but overall, the volatility isn't very high. Bitcoin was around, let's actually pull this up here so you can see better, around $120,000 earlier today, now $117.5 thousand. So we've definitely seen a little bit of a retracement, but overall, I think you need to get ready because there's going to be some volatility later this week. Let me get through the first little bit and then we'll go into some of the news. If you don't mind though, hit subscribe. Also, tell me what you're drinking right now. I'm having a Buffalo Trace and Coke. You know, it was nice weather earlier. We went for a little splash time with the baby. So my wife and I both got an outside adult drink. So we're doing Buffalo Trace and Coke and then a water. Let me know down below in the comments what you're drinking. By the way, I opened up a Telegram about a month ago. I just published a completely new type of video, one that I've never made before on the channel. And I'll push it to everyone in a little while, but I released it early to the Telegram. I've gotten videos taken down from YouTube entirely, so I just set up this Telegram as another place that I can put content in case the videos get taken down by YouTube. If you want to check it out, there's a link to it underneath the video. It's completely free and it's not spammy. It's just me posting in there. It's not like a back and forth or anything like that. By the way, if you do want to trade crypto, there's a link to BYDeFi underneath the video. I think we're in a great place right now. And if you want to start trading, you can check out the link underneath the video. Now, like I said, Bitcoin falling down a bit on the day. Let me pull up some of the other top cryptos. You can see Ethereum under 3,800, which is fine. It's done really well recently. XRP at $3.13, Solana at 184, Cardano at 79. So just seeing a bit of a dip, you know, a little bit of a depressed day in terms of price action. But there was good news yesterday with Trump coming to a deal with the EU. And while the stock market was up earlier today, it's calmed down a lot since then. You can see here, the NASDAQ was up about 0.5%. Now it's up 0.2%. The Dow and the S&P 500 are actually down a little bit. Keep in mind, it is a huge week for the stock market. Nothing happened today, but tomorrow we have jobs openings. We have GDP and FOMC on Wednesday. We have PCE, and I've mentioned this a couple times, so we don't have to go through it too much. But then we have a bunch of earnings as well throughout the week from Visa, SoFi, PayPal, Starbucks, Meta, Microsoft, Robinhood, Amazon, Apple, Strategy, Coinbase. Like, there are so many large companies. This is the biggest week by far. The White House just confirmed too that they're going to be publicly releasing the digital assets report on Wednesday. Some people have been saying it's a bill that's going to be released. No, it's the report that they've done over 180 days from when Trump came into office to now. It will give some indication as to whether they're going to be acquiring more crypto. So possibly some very exciting news there. Or it could just be like, hey, we're not allocating anything new towards crypto now. We're just holding onto the crypto that we've had. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw either of those outlined in the report. I do think that will definitely influence the market, though. I almost think it's a 1 or a 0, where if they mention acquiring more crypto in ways that they want to acquire more crypto, I think we're going to move up. And if they don't, I think we could move down. I just feel like that is something that a lot of people are expecting right now, that governments will start acquiring Bitcoin. And yeah, people are excited for that because they don't really have a price. They don't care what the price is, whether it's 120, 140, it doesn't matter to them. Of course, Tyler Hill also outlined some of the big things happening this week. The Trump tariff deadline is on Friday as well, so could see some interesting news there. Now, there have been a lot of entities acquiring crypto throughout the day. Mill City Ventures, a U.S. finance firm, which I've never heard of, is set to secure $450 million to kickstart their SUI treasury strategy. SUI's done really well over the last month or so. there are a handful of companies that own SUI that have a treasury. I suppose, if you're looking at what Tom Lee says, which is Ethereum is more volatile than Bitcoin, so we're going to buy Ethereum, SUI might be more volatile than any other top crypto. It's number 11 on the list right now, maybe 15 because it saw a bit of a drop today. But it is extremely volatile for a top 20 crypto. It's regularly up and down 20, 30% in a few days. So it's not surprising to see some companies are going to try to acquire it. It is very risky, though, I think, for a company to acquire it. It's not Ethereum. It's not Bitcoin. It hasn't been around for a long time. So, yes, there's extra volatility, but we don't know where it will sit long term on the list. SharpLink Gaming has bought another 77,000 Ethereum worth $295 million. They're one, if not the largest Ethereum strategies, along with BitMine, Tom Lee's company. Not surprising to see they're continuing to acquire, but that is a large amount. Volcon has acquired an additional $37 million worth of Bitcoin this morning. They now hold 3,500 Bitcoin worth $416 million. Mara completes an upsized $950 million offering at 0%. Sequans has purchased an additional 755 Bitcoin for $88.5 million. Metaplanet acquired 780 Bitcoin for $92.5 million. And interestingly enough, Strategy bought 0 Bitcoin this week during Galaxy's 80,000 Bitcoin sell-off, one of the largest executed Bitcoin trades in history. So we have a lot of the smaller players buying Bitcoin this week, but the largest player, MicroStrategy, did not acquire any Bitcoin throughout the week, and really the ETFs didn't either, which is kind of interesting. Like the net inflow into the ETFs was very small. I want to say it was around 100 million, 70 to 100 million last week. I could be wrong on that, but that's why I remember. And Strategy bought nothing. So the price of Bitcoin stayed sideways just from these smaller companies buying Bitcoin and from retail, from whoever's acquiring. But kind of interesting that even without the 2 largest players, 3 largest if you include Fidelity, the price of Bitcoin hasn't really gone down. It just stayed sideways for a while, which honestly is good for Bitcoin. That's good for the RSI to calm down a little bit before we make the next move up. Another $1 billion was minted at the Tether Treasury as well, which usually signifies money coming into the crypto market. We have some pretty highly traded ETFs today too. Maybe we will see some Bitcoin bought today from the BlackRock ETF from Fidelity. BlackRock's ETF was 5th traded this morning when they published this about 2 hours into the trading day. Right now, which we are about to close the trading day, it is 6th. It's the 6th most traded with about $2.2 billion traded. And of course, at the beginning of the market and the end of the market, we see a lot of volume, so it might even spike up. ETHA is also notable on this list, trading about $1.1 billion, about 20th on the list, which is, again, significant for a newer ETF. That's impressive. Trump also commented on Powell saying he's leaving very soon, and I'll miss him. Okay, I don't think Trump's really going to miss him at all from what he said in the past, but let me know your thoughts. Of course, we do have Powell speaking on Wednesday. We have a lot of big news throughout the week. So I want to keep you informed. I want to make sure that you know what's going on. If you do want to see more videos like this, I publish as quickly as I get news. So you can hit subscribe. You can turn on the bell notification. If you do want to trade crypto, you can set up your trades before the big week of earnings and the Fed and GDP and PCE, all that. You can set up your trades here on BYDFi or BTCC or BitUniX or BLOFIN or WEEX underneath the video. They have a lot of different bonuses going on right now on all these platforms. BYDFi does have a $10,000 XRP event. $10,000 of free XRP, just depending on how much you trade. And you can even get more if you deposit $5,000 or more. So check that out. Again, you can check out the Telegram too if you want access to that exclusive video. That's completely different from what I usually talk about. Check that out. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.